online purchases we make nowadays, protecting your financial data is one of the best and easier ways that you can secure your bank account and credit cards from fraud or theft. And thankfully, it is not that hard. I've talked about virtual credit cards in the past, and after a lot of research and personal training of the software, I'd like to share with you the best options you can use to mask your financial transactions. And listen closely, because there are some very important distinctions between the services that have a huge impact on how you might use them. By the way, reloadable is an online marketplace that connects freelancers selling their services with clients looking to hire someone for a project. You definitely can make money on reloadable as a freelancer. Since our platform acts as an online marketplace for freelancers and businesses to connect with each other, there are plenty of opportunities available where you can earn a decent income by providing services. And if you're a buyer, it is very easy to find the right person for the job, no matter what the job is. Reloadable's homepage automatically recommends several freelancers and services on offer, but you can also search exactly what you're looking for. Go to www.reloadable.com to get started. Back to the video. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the best virtual payment option and then answer the most common questions I receive about this stuff. And before we even get started here, I want to address the elephant in the room. It is an acronym known as KYC. KYC, or Know Your Customer, is a mandatory process that banking entities are required to go through to identify and then verify their customers. Basically, this means that if you're applying for any kind of banking or financial services like, say, a credit card, they're going to require you to share your real name, a working phone number, an address, and even an ID number like your social security number. The virtual card options that I'm going to share with you here fall into one of three categories, all of which require a different level of trust. First, there are those that act more like a bank and are bound by these KYC rules, which some people might find uncomfortable, and then there are those that require you to trust them to connect directly to your bank account, which can also make some people uneasy, and I understand that. And finally, there are those that you just trust with your credit card number to top up the prepaid card. Whichever you choose, just recognize that the purpose of doing this is to minimize your risk profile by not giving out your actual credit card to any online website or store that asks for it. And that's a good thing. Okay, let's dive in. Privacy.com is one of the most well-known virtual credit card options available, and one of the great things about it is that it is free. There is an integration with 1Password, and they do give you a high-level control over the cards you can create. You can create one-time cards, spending limit cards, monthly spending limit cards, all of those things. One of the reasons why I've really enjoyed it, and they do have an upgraded premium option that gives you more virtual cards, but I think even the thing that they give you per month on the free level is more than enough. The cons, the things that I haven't really liked about it is that you can't use these cards on the mobile wallet like Apple Pay. It is also restricted to US residents, as many of these options are. And here is what most people don't like. When I talk with them, they have to link their debit card or their bank accounts with privacy and the implications that has with trusting privacy with that connection to your bank. Another one is launchcard.com, which is the newest kid on the virtual credit card block, but I've really enjoyed using their service. They offer unlimited virtual cards with lots of control over how those cards are used. Even being able to create cards for your wife or for your children that you can limit the spending or at least monitor the spending on. These cards are actually virtual credit cards and not debit cards connected to your bank, which can be a good and bad thing. I'll explain that in a second. One of the good things is that you can get up to 6% cash back when you're using these cards, and again, it is free to use. It's being paid for by all of the credit card fees that happen when you make purchases. The downside to all of this, of course, is that you are subject to KYC, and it's only for US residents. And the reason for this is because you're actually applying for a credit card through the clutch. They're giving you access to these virtual cards on the backside through their app and through the online portal. Ionverse.com is a service that I've just started testing out a lot of these past months. It is used to be known as Blur by Abine, but it is being spun off into its own company. It's very similar to Clutch. The biggest difference is that instead of being an actual federal credit card, Ionverse.com makes it a prepaid debit card. There are pros and cons. Obviously, the pros are that you are not subject to those KYC. You don't have to verify your identity and do all of that stuff. But of course, the cons are that it is prepaid. You can't just use the card, you have to top up the card, and you have to trust ironverse.com with your credit card or debit card data to top it up. Another concern is the limited control that you have. You can only create this one-time cards, at least right now. They don't offer this monthly spend limit cards, and there are fees to load these prepaid cards. So every time that you want to create a new card, you have to pay a small fee, and then anything over $100, you have to pay a percentage as a fee. And finally, this is still US residents only. Okay, enough of the US residents only. Let's jump into revolut.com, which is my bonus for you to watch this video to the end. This is open to Australia, Japan, and European countries, as well as United States residents. That's the benefit there. You can use this virtual credit card if you're a resident of other countries, and it works very similarly in terms of the flexibility to be able to create a lot of these cards and control their spending limits. The cons here are that you are subject to KYC rules. They're going to ask for a lot of your personal information and requires a connection to your debit card or bank account. So at least to my knowledge, you can't just use your credit card to fund this stuff. You have to give them access to your debit card or your bank account. Those are your options. Now let me answer some of the questions that I often get about using this kinds of virtual credit card services. Do opening these kinds of accounts alter your credit score? And the answer is that in most cases, there is no credit pool because a lot of these are actually debit or prepaid cards. The exceptions here would be Clutch, one of the only actual virtual credit card on the list, which only pulls your credit after you've been approved. I also get asked if this affects your points or miles programs with your credit card, and the answer again depends on the service. If you're adding your credit card to Apple Pay or for purchases, then yes, you are still going to get the miles or points. But if you are topping up a prepaid card with your bank account or debit card, then no, obviously you won't. What about returns? This is a very common question with thankfully a very easy answer. Every service that allows you to quickly turn off or delete a virtual credit card always allows you to continue to accept returns on that card, even after it's been turned off. In other words, if you bought some shoes on Amazon using your virtual credit card and then close that card down, you can still return those shoes and get a refund issued to that same card number. Thanks so much for watching, and do well to subscribe to Ladder Business for more updates like this.